In this episode, you'll discover why your body clocks out of work, but your nervous system never does. And that's why rest doesn't work anymore. So, I want to give you 3 reasons why I'm inviting you to stay until the very end of this episode. 1, neuroscience. 2, Chakra Psychology explains where your work stress actually gets stored. There's actually a storage place. And 3, I'm going to give you a simple nervous system regulation strategy. Okay, so back in the day, we were taught that work is something you do, right? But professional helpers, for us, work becomes something your nervous system becomes. Your body does not experience work as a job. It experiences work as relational threat, responsibility, and survival. Y'all, this is why in Pursuit of Soul Joy, my book, I wrote, burnout and compassion fatigue create a state of re-experiencing negative events, increased arousal, avoidance symptoms, and flat-out exhaustion. And the crazy thing about all this is that your brain can't discern between your trauma and your client's trauma. Your body's response is the same. Page 11. See, your nervous system isn't confused. It's doing exactly what it learned to do. And according to polyvagal theory, your nervous system organizes around perceived safety, not time. So even when that shift ends, the threat doesn't. And that's why you're exhausted, but you can't sleep. Anybody? Oh. Why silence makes you anxious, and why relaxing feels impossible. And this gets more intense after 50. As estrogen declines, the nervous system loses one of its natural buffers, and stress becomes a lot stickier. And recovery, y'all, recovery is just going to take longer. I know this from a very personal experience. In my book, I wrote, on the outside, I looked like I was functioning. I had a successful career, a beautiful family, a devoted husband, but inside, I was living in hell. Page 27. Functioning is not the same as regulated. Underline that, underscore that, I'm going to repeat that. Functioning is not the same as regulated. So, let's segue into what Western psychology explains what is happening and what chakra psychology explains where it's happening. See the difference? The Western psychology, what we've all been trained in, those therapists, all of us in the mental health field, we've been trained in Western psychology explaining what is happening. But our friends in the East, the chakra psychology that's been around for thousands of years, explains where it is happening. And that's very somatic. And that's why you see this trend of somatic psychologies becoming so much more popular. They work. We don't want to know just what's happening. We need to know where it's happening. We need to embody. So let's look at this. Work stress for women healers, helpers, educators, it embeds most often in our root chakra. And that's our safety, survival, hypervigilance, solar plexus, that's our worth, decision fatigue, and that over responsibility. And then there's the heart chakra, and that's our emotional labor, absorbed grief, and yes, compassion fatigue. And y'all, I state this very clearly in the book. Page 23. The person of the clinician cannot be separated from the work you do, whatever type of clinician, educator you might be. A lack of self-care nervous system regulation impacts you personally and professionally. You cannot get away from it. Your nervous system never leaves work because your energy isn't disengaging from all those responsibilities. So, the practice we're going to go through, this is not a meditation, and it's not positive thinking. This is a neuro-somatic boundary practice. Because as I write, self-care, that nervous system regulation, it can't be an afterthought, added when a clinician feels tired. Self-care is the veritable foundation upon which our lives and practices are built. Page 38. So the practice, I call it, I'm no longer on call. This works because it completes the stress cycle. And that's what's happening. Our stress cycle has not been completed, so we stay in it. When we go home and try and rest and be with our family and try and sleep, the stress cycle isn't done, so we're not able to do this. This practice is going to activate your vagus nerve. It's going to restore energetic boundaries, and it's going to separate identity from usefulness. And that's a big one. That's that good girl detox. But over time, this practice retrains your nervous system to learn rest is not abandonment, stillness is not danger, and you are allowed to come home to yourself. Or as I wrote early in my book, while building the life and clinical practice I dreamed of, I lost myself. So true. Page 8. This work is about finding yourself again. So here's what we talked about today. Your nervous system never leaves work because vigilance became safety. Burnout and compassion fatigue physically change the brain. Midlife physiology reduces your stress buffer. Chakra Psychology explains where exhaustion lives in your body. And regulation requires ritual, not willpower. Okay, so if this episode named your experience, the next step is deeper work, and that's to read my book, In Pursuit of Soul Joy. And I'm also going to invite you to click on the show notes below and schedule a call with me. This is an opportunity for us to have a one-on-one and really dig into what's going on for you. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for being here.